Time now for the Morning Rush.
And we start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. When it comes to our next big weather maker, we're going to be looking at the possibility of strong showers and thunderstorms starting tonight. So through the day today, you'll notice some moisture out across the eastern side of the state, even a little bit more cloud cover to the north. But overnight, showers and thunderstorms start to develop out across south central, southeast New Mexico. These continue to push to the north and fill in as we get into the eastern side of New Mexico through the day. Some of those storms could even be strong to severe. I'll have more details coming up on that a little bit later. Adam?
To breaking news this morning, Lobo basketball now reportedly has a new head coach. ESPN is reporting that UNM and New Mexico State head coach Paul Weir have agreed to a contract. Weir led the Aggies to a 28-6 season and the NCAA tournament in his first year as head coach with the Aggies. How long that deal is reportedly for, coming up in the 5 Facts in Minutes.
And as you get ready to head out the door, we're following other day's top local stories. We start with David Romero.
Well, Crystal, looking to make cuts, that's what Bernalillo County commissioners and department heads will be doing in a meeting later this morning when it comes to next year's budget. Right now, the county's facing a nearly $20 million budget shortfall, and the county cites increasing costs and less funding from the state and feds as part of the problem. Some suggested solutions include tax increases and furlough days for employees. Now, the budget needs to be completed by 2 weeks from today before final approval from the state in June. Sarah?
New findings out this morning show some charter schools in Albuquerque are topping a list of the best public schools in New Mexico for 2016. The U.S. News and World Report used criteria like standardized test scores, graduation rates, and how the school prepares students for college. Based on their findings, Cottonwood Classical Preparatory School and the Albuquerque Institute of Math and Science come in at 1 and 2 on the list. Amy Beal also made the list. There are 4 APS schools scattered throughout at 6th, 7th, 10th, and 13th. For the full list, go to KRQE.com. Adam?
Overnight news now, one person is in the hospital this morning after a crash near the Big I. APD says just after 1 this morning, police responded to a single vehicle crash on the flyover. They say the driver was ejected from that vehicle. Right now, that person is in critical condition. The flyover was temporarily shut down, but it was reopened around 3:30 this morning, so it should be fine for the morning drive.
On to news happening today. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson heads to Moscow for discussions with Russia's top diplomats, but the Kremlin says President Vladimir Putin does not have time to meet with Tillerson. The official visit comes as tensions escalate over the crisis in Syria. The U.S. blames Russia for allowing Syrian President Bashar al-Assad to carry out a chemical weapons attack on his own people.
Alabama has a new governor this morning after Robert Bentley resigned yesterday amid scandal. The 74-year-old Republican quit after the state's ethics commission said that he broke state ethics and campaign laws when he allegedly had an affair with a top aide. Former Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey was sworn in as governor last night.
The hunt is on this morning for a Wisconsin burglary suspect. He's getting a lot of attention after authorities say he allegedly mailed a 161-page manifesto to President Trump detailing his grievances against the government. Deputies say Joseph Jakubowski robbed a gun shop. They released photos of the man's tattoos. The FBI is also offering a $10,000 reward and considering him armed and dangerous because they say the manifesto included threats to steal weapons and use them against public officials and schools.
New details: a man shot at a southern New Mexico Border Patrol checkpoint is in the hospital this morning. Customs and Border Protection officers say they asked that driver to pull over to undergo a secondary check at that checkpoint on I-25 north of Las Cruces. That's when they say the man pulled out a gun and fired in their direction. The agents returned fire, hitting the man. They are not saying yet whether they found anything in his car.
Today, double murder suspect Alexis Groves is expected in court for a different case, this time forgery. Last month, she pled not guilty to the charges stemming from a 2016 case. Today, she's due in court for a status hearing for those charges. In January, Groves was accused of stealing a van, then crashed it into another car, killing a teen and the teen's mother.
A serial burglar is starting his 34-year sentence this morning. Last year, Ramon Herrera terrorized neighbors in the Four Hills area, even breaking into one home 5 times. Detectives say they used surveillance cameras and spotted Herrera leaving a cigarette butt. DNA evidence from that tied him to the crime. Herrera pleaded guilty to the charges back in January.
Also happening today, the man accused of shooting up his own neighborhood is set to go before a judge. Derek Foote was arrested last July after shooting several homes near Tramway and Copper 2 nights in a row. Among the homes hit, one with a couple and a new baby. They huddled in the bathtub for safety that day. Today is a pre-trial conference with intentions of setting a trial for next month.
New details: a proposal to raise the gas tax in Albuquerque is now moving forward to the full city council for consideration. Last night, the Finance Committee passed it without recommendation. Under Councilor Isaac Benton's new measure, drivers would pay 2 cents more at the gas pump per gallon. The money would go toward improving roads for cars, pedestrians, and bicyclists. The full council is scheduled to hear it May 1st.
Some high remarks for Angel Fire Resort this morning. It's one of USNews.com's top 6 adventure resorts. The article says not only is it a premier ski destination, but come summer, the ski runs transform into a 60-mile mountain bike course. And Angel Fire's other amenities to include an indoor pool and a golf course with other outdoor activities close by.
Civic Plaza will soon look a lot different, and construction on several upgrades is now underway. Those updates include a new interactive fountain, which will replace the old one that started leaking. The new one will have LED lighting, and it can be controlled with your smartphone. There will also be amphitheater-style seating installed to go with the big screen, an updated sound system, and a new playground.
Today's Metro Threat Index at 205. We do have some pretty breezy conditions out of the southeast today, hitting us at about 15 up to 25 miles per hour. Temperatures, nothing we have to worry about. We will be well into the 70s, but after midnight tonight, we have the potential for some showers and thunderstorms to make it into the Rio Grande Valley. We will keep a close eye on that for you. Crystal?
The Intel plant in Rio Rancho continues to shed workers. It's now down to 1,200 workers this morning. It's a sharp 37% drop in 2016. According to the company's latest annual report to the Sandoval County Commission. Intel still employs about 1,000 contract workers, about half of whom are generally on site every day to work on specific projects. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your Tuesday morning commute. Nothing significant to slow you down. No major accidents out there. Coors southbound near Alameda. Slow at this time, as it usually is this time of morning, but everything else is moving at posted speeds.
This Saturday, local military and police bomb squads will put on a special event for blind or visually impaired kids. They're using their knowledge of circuits to build beeping eggs. The beeping Easter egg hunt is scheduled for Saturday morning from 10 to 11:30 at Bullhead Park near Gibson and San Pedro. What a great idea.
I love that idea.
Went from... Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that?
Did you guys see that at home? A fireball shooting across the sky last night in San Diego
Whoa.
caught one person completely off guard while live streaming video from her home. Her hilarious reaction had people cracking up, rather. The American Meteorology Society says it's received at least 206 reports about the fireball from LA to Arizona to even New Mexico.
I don't understand why that would be terrifying for her. It's like hit her right
Oh, yeah.
It is shocking.
Wow.
All right, time now for the 5 facts.
Starting with number 5 this morning, a father's plea to the community is answered. Almost 2 decades ago, a teen couple was murdered during their Good Friday pilgrimage to Chimayo. Recently, a scholarship in their name was short $2,000. Families have now raised nearly $2,800 through a GoFundMe page. You can still donate to the Ricky and Karen Scholarship. You can find the story on our website for more details.
On to number 4 now. Breaking news. Lobo basketball now has their next head coach. ESPN is now reporting that UNM and New Mexico State head coach Paul Weir have agreed to a 6-year deal. Weir led the Aggies to a 28-6 season and the NCAA tourney in his first year as the head coach of the Aggies. A press conference is expected for today. This news still developing. Stay with us throughout the day as we learn more.
At number 3, warm temperatures and breezy conditions across the area today, but starting overnight and into tomorrow, moisture coming off the Gulf and moving over the eastern plains gives us the possibility of strong to severe storms east the central mountains through the day on Wednesday, but temperatures continue to climb.
On to number 2 this morning, students at a San Bernardino elementary school will be kept home for the next 2 days. This as police investigate a murder-suicide that left one of their teachers dead. An 8-year-old boy was also killed. Another student was injured, but now stable. Police now say 53-year-old Cedric Anderson checked in at the school office saying he had something for his estranged wife yesterday, then walked into the classroom and shot 53-year-old Karen Elaine Smith in front of her students. He then killed himself. Stray bullets hit the 2 kids.
On to number 1 now. This morning, an East Mountain neighborhood is on edge after the death of a woman is being deemed a homicide. The suspects are still not under arrest. The Torrance County Sheriff does tell us the woman in her 50s was home alone when 2 burglars came in to rob the place. Something went wrong, leaving the woman dead. Authorities say the suspects are 2 17-year-old boys tied to nearly a dozen home burglaries. The sheriff says deputies are taking steps to protect the community until the 2 suspects can be arrested.